little technical. I mean, you do the same process every week, and some days it just
It
wants to have
works.
a little glitch.
Some days it works, some days it don't. Isn't that just life?
Happy eclipse, full moon day, retrograde, all that fun stuff.
Oh, retrograde. We've got a full moon today. We're going into, oh, I can't think of the term. It's been being used quite a bit, but it's almost like this. Uh, I picture it as a tunnel
Oh, like
as
a
we're
little.
going,
Mm-hmm.
because we're also coming into solar eclipse
Oh, yeah.
and
There's, you know what? There's
spring
always
equinox and
energetically happening, and
oh,
I just think if we didn't know about it,
yeah.
w- how would it influence our life, right?
Oh,
If somebody
very
didn't
true.
tell
We
you,
use it as an excuse sometimes too, I think, which is what we're
yeah,
doing right
so
now.
we just go on with our life, and then, anyways, we'll see what
It
happens.
is what it is. But while we were delayed, I already shuffled because we always get our inspiration from the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck by Tara Catherine Collins. And I already have three cards for us. Are you ready for these? And I find them very entertaining.
Okay, well,
So,
just give
number
me.
30. Oh, okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted
First,
to. Mm-hmm.
first one, number 35, guest room.
Mm-hmm.
Number 37, bathrooms.
Which?
Bathrooms.
Oh, a bathroom again? We get
Yeah.
bathrooms a lot lately.
And number 28, desk.
Hmm.
And I find this completely entertaining as heck because Wednesday night we started our last round, our last 21-day decluttering boot camp, and there's still time to join. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what part of mine was? My guest room.
Oh.
This morning I'm in the bathroom getting prepared, thinking, man, do I need to do some cleaning in here? Not decluttering, just cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
That you were talking about stuff on your desk for digital decluttering. So I was just chuckling this morning. However, I wanted to bring in the elements because all three cards are different elements.
Of
We've got
course.
the yellow border of the earth element, the orangey red border of the fire element, and the green border of the wood. And if I just change these up ever so slightly, like this, we have the nurturing cycle.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
did that wrong. There we go. The wood feeds fire, and fire creates the ashes and the earth. So we have three parts of the nourishing cycle. Not fun.
Mm. So then that
Yes.
might be some insight for you in your guest room,
Yes.
that, right, to pay attention to
The
the
elements.
elements and keep them in the nourishing cycle.
Yeah.
And when we talk about elements, I mean, elements are a study in their own. And the
Yes.
five element theory comes to us from traditional Chinese medicine.
Medicine. This is
Now, those five elements are present in all things. And when we do not have one, or we have an abundance of one,
yes.
then we have that imbalance, and we're always seeking to go back to homeostasis, to
Mhm.
find balance, to bring harmony into our life. And the elements are a absolute perfect, beautiful way to do that.
Mhm.
So, for example, I mean, Cheryl, you that nourishing cycle, right? So the wood element shows up in our home environment with, the first thing that we see is color, right?
Yeah.
So it shows up in the color of greens and blues. So again, anything that we see in nature that's related to growth or growing,
Mhm.
those colors are associated with the wood element. And then, of course, anything that's made from wood wood itself and paper. That's all
Hmm.
wood element.
Hmm.
And when we have too much wood element in an environment, especially well, I'm going to say in our on our desk, right? So
Hmm.
on our desk, for example, we could have a lot of wood, a
Paper.
lot of paper, and just think about now being in nature in a forest. If there's
Hmm.
too much, right? If there's too many trees, then what happens is it becomes overwhelming. You
Yes.
don't know which direction to go because you can't see the forest for the trees,
Well, you
right?
become disoriented.
Exactly. So that same thing happens in our environment and on the desk. If you have so many piles of paper happening around, you lack focus, you're going to be disoriented, you don't know which where to start, and then you're overwhelmed. And so
Hmm.
then what you do is you just get the heck out of the office
Yep.
because it's not an environment where you feel safe and comfortable.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Hello. And then, of course, too much fire. So when we're talking about the fire element, so the reds, the oranges, the colors that you would see in a fire, right? Shapes also come in. And I'm looking at our glasses, and this was not planned. We both showed up with our red cat eye glasses
And
on.
they're fire. Yeah, we're
And
a
they're
little bit
both
fire.
fire. They're the red, and mine really have pointy triangles, which is a shape associated with a fire, right? Think of the flame.
Yep.
So I find it entertaining that the red is the border for the bathrooms, which is normally a very watery environment. So the
Hmm.
fire element in a bathroom helps to balance all that water energy, and quite often all the white is a metal energy. So I think today is an element talking day,
Yeah,
right? Just to
exactly.
bring in that, as Anita said, that homeostasis. And I just want to add in here, it's really entertaining because we're preparing now for two things: our Ignite Impact book launch, right? And Ignite Gatherama, which is coming up at the end of May in Salt Lake City. And we were just talking about what are we going to present? And we want to bring in that balance, which is really quite entertaining with all of this. So, yes. So, going back to the bathrooms, right?
Well, and yeah, the bathroom again. So the first thing that we want to add into our bathroom environment is we want to add some earth
Wood.
and
Yeah.
wood and fire,
And
right?
fire.
Right, because so the fire melts the metal, because the
Yep.
metal usually in bathrooms, we have white ceramic sinks and tubs, and that is, associated with the metal element. Then we have, metal faucets, metal fixtures, those kind of things. So the fire, first of all, we bring in the fire to melt some of that metal.
Yeah.
And
Tone it down.
then we bring in the wood, which is like plant energy or colors of wood to kind of soak up or absorb some of that water energy. And then the earth helps to dam the water, right? So you think about, a stream in nature or something. If you throw a big chunk of dirt, what does it do? It slows the water flow down
Absolutely.
and calms it. So those three elements you absolutely need to incorporate into your bathrooms. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because bathrooms, again, associated, if there's an abundance of water, then that water energy, the bathroom's going to take it and flush it down the drain, down the toilet, because there's big receptacles holding on to that water, the good chi.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, love that conversation because it definitely all ties in. And then when we go to the guest room,
To the guest room.
the guest room, the one element that you do not want in the guest room is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Because fire is active, right?
Yes.
And Cheryl and I both, popped on some red this morning. Obviously, in our energetic field, maybe we were
We
feeling that
needed a little energy.
we need a little boost, right? We need a little, okay. And the red does that, it's
Mhm.
like Have you ever heard that saying, you got to light the fire under someone's ass? Or
But beep.
oh, oh, I think it beeped.
Entertaining.
Actually, you know what? I think my screen, I think I lost connection just at that moment.
Oh,
Yeah. Have you ever heard you got to light the fire under someone? That's what that's all about. It comes
yes.
from this whole study
Mhm.
of five element theory.
Exactly. Well, I think what you're wearing is very indicative of the impact that color has in our lives. So if you take off your glasses right now,
Hmm.
now look at your surroundings. Anita's wearing the darker colors. She's got the beautiful, long, beautiful, beautiful thick hair. The navies, the darks, indicative of water. The little bit of brown there, indicative of the earth or of wood and or the earth, right? Dual color palette. There's some turquoise in the chair behind her, so that lightens up the space a little bit. But as
Hmm.
soon as she puts on her glasses, the energy completely shifts. Yeah, see? Even Elena is helping us out there.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I like that this is such a great, and you can't make this up. We were having a conversation with someone on Zoom the other day. It was like, you really can't make this up. There's no planning. It's just what's in the energy field that's meant to come out. So anyway, all right. You just disappeared completely away from the screen, which is all good. So going back to the guest room, what does your guest room look like? I know mine is feeling a little bit congested. So when we did our 21-day decluttering boot camp the other night, we have a process we take everyone through, walking through your space and paying attention to how you feel when you're walking into each room. And I mentioned that in our guest room, I felt very congested, meaning, and it's not that there's a lot of stuff in that room. I know what's in that room. With the exception of the closet, it's congested. In so on, let me digress for a second. If anybody walked into that room, you'd think, fine, there's nothing wrong with this room. But the closet is stuffed. The dresser drawers are stuffed. The nightstands are stuffed. So the
Mm.
congestion is coming from the energy that is stuck and stuffed into those spaces and places. So energy doesn't hide. We say that all the time. Stuffing, literally stuffing a bunch of stuff into your drawers and closets because you've got guests coming over, doesn't subdue the energy of the space. It just adds to it in all energy, in all honesty, because now it's crammed into a smaller space. So congestion came up. And when it comes to Chinese medicine, like for me, I could feel it, you know, in my heart area, in the
Mm.
yellow, right? So I don't know where that's relatable in Chinese medicine. Anita may know because she knows a little bit more about TCM than I. Do you know where congestion or what that's related to in the body, Anita?
The fire element, I believe.
Interesting. So I
Mhm.
might need a little fire energy in that space.
In the way of lighting or something like that. Hmm.
Well, there is only, it's a lower level space and it's got a small window, so that could potentially be it. But anyway, it's worth looking at and pulling it apart. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about is the congestion in the guest room. And we clean it up for the purpose of having guests over. So if I can feel it standing in the doorway, do my guests that sleep in there feel it? Are they able to relax enough to have a good night's sleep, to decompress their system, right? To find that homeostasis and that balance that Anita was talking about.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
I wanted to read a little bit that Tara has written on the card, if that's all right.
You bet.
It says the first words, don't tourniquet a guest room off from the rest of your home. Make it beautiful, leave the door open, and visit the room regularly, if only to water plants or open a window. Guard against a room becoming a junk room that only gets shoveled out before the guests arrive. I like how she put tourniquet. Don't tourniquet a guest room off from the rest of your home.
Hmm. Well, and so often that's what happens, right? The
Mhm.
guest room becomes the catch-all room. Just
Yep.
throw it in there because nobody's coming over,
Deal
nobody's
with it
using
later.
that room for a while. And then when you do have a guest show up, every 6 months or something, you go, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with all this stuff?" And then you put it in the closet, and uh, and then they come and they stay for a couple of nights, and then
It goes
it
back to you.
explodes again. Right?
Because it is part of the living part of our homes. Our homes are living. And I think sometimes we forget that.
Hmm.
Everything is alive with chi, that life force energy. In my house in particular, that is also part of, now I got to stop and think about this for a second. That is also part of our wealth and prosperity. So if I'm feeling congested, am I blocking am I blocking the flow of wealth and prosperity based
Hmm.
on what's going on in that room?
Hmm.
So now we're bringing in more aspects of feng shui. It's not just about the art of placement, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
It is way more involved than the average person realizes. You, however, are here and you're getting quite the education this morning. So, based on our front door, right, on the bagua, that room in particular anchors our wealth and prosperity. Whoops, I'm doing this backwards. There we go, on
Hmm.
this side. And colors involved in that are the purples, are the reds, are the golds, are those palettes. So maybe that entire room needs a complete shift. Love it. All right, you want to chat a little bit and I'll do some numbers.
Well, I have a little guest with
I
me today
see
that's
that.
going to be using the guest room. And I do want to say that in our 21-day decluttering boot camp, as you just mentioned, Cheryl, that started
Hmm.
uh, the other night, there's still time to join us. And
Yes.
I would really encourage you to join us because, spring is the perfect time for spring cleaning, etc. And we are not going to be offering this program again until September. And when we do, I can guarantee the price is not going to be the same as what it is right now.
Yep.
So, uh, I just want to say, if you even ever remotely thought about joining us for this program, it's very, very powerful. It gets things done. You're going to get coaching from Cheryl and I,
Mhm.
lots of great insights. So if you've ever considered it for a moment, now is the time. And
Time.
you can still join us because like I say, we're not doing it till September. And the price, I don't know. I'm just telling you now, it's not going to be the same. And right now, you can bring a friend for free.
Yeah, on top of
Hello,
that.
two of you can sign up for 111. Like, oh, that's an incredible offer
Hmm.
that is going away.
Yep. Okay,
Um,
so, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's, yeah. What else? Oh, and tomorrow. So if we have
Yes.
any people listening to this today on March the 14th, tomorrow, March the 15th, we are doing a live in-person workshop in Red Deer. And we're so looking forward to that because we are going to be incorporating some of the five element theory in
Hmm.
there. We are going to be talking a little bit about Feng Shui, and we're going to be creating an amazing magical sun catcher. And we'll tell you all, a little bit more about that, but there is still room. So if you
Yes.
are in our immediate area, we would encourage you to, I'll pop the links in and you can have a look. We'd love for you to come and have some fun. Come and
Exactly. Yeah, let's get creative. So I always refer to, oops, the double digitology, Marilyn Harper, Joy Robbie, and I think it's quite entertaining. So the number 8 comes from the guest room card, the 35.
Mhm.
Then we had bathrooms, which is 37, that's a 10. Then we had desk, which is a 28, which is a 10.
Mhm.
So they all total 28, which is
A
a
10,
10. So
which
we
is
have
a
10, 10,
one.
10. So I want to refer to the 1 and the 0, of
Hmm.
course. The 1 is a leadership energy, positivity, persistence that will not be distracted from its own boldness. Also carries with it a little bit of bossiness. Sometimes a fearfulness of one's own power. The
Hmm.
courage to stand alone as a pillar of strength. Now, the 0 is source energy. The 0, the meaning of the 0 is simple. The 0 is source energy to remind you you are not alone. So even if you're one of those individuals that likes to be bossy and they're okay standing alone, but it's way more fun. I'm pointing at myself because I know I'm bossy. I'm never alone because Source is always, always with me. Always with me. So watch out for the 1010s showing up in your life today. I think that's quite fascinating.
Well, and when it does show up, the 1010, it's inviting you to start, to look at a new beginning, right?
Mhm.
What can you begin anew? And think about the previous thought that you just had, and then whatever you were thinking about, then that's, the source energy trying to get your attention and saying, yes, go ahead with that, you may be think you're alone, but we're right here with you. So,
Yes,
uh,
always, always with us.
mhm.
Oh my goodness. The one thing we forgot to talk about when we were talking about the desk is the digital decluttering.
Oh, yes.
And on Sunday, for those of you that want to join us, we are doing our monthly digital decluttering day. So that's also an opportunity for you to, and there are lots of people that are minimalist. They don't think they have any physical clutter in their home, but I can tell you that their devices have the potential to cause more stress in their life than physical possessions.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that
Oh,
firsthand, and we
yeah.
keep hearing it firsthand from all kinds of people. So
Hmm.
that's an opportunity as well. All right, my partner, my friend, wrap us up.
Well, I'm going to let you wrap us up because
Oh, because you're
I'm,
wrapping up somebody else.
yeah, I'm wrapping somebody else for a minute.
Oh, up in a hug. Up, Grammy. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We are all in alignment, creating sacred spaces with Anita A., Cheryl V., your stress reduction gurus, and we will see you next week or tomorrow at our Suncatcher Magic Workshop or Wednesday evening for 21-day decluttering boot camp. Have a great week,
Sunday.
everybody.
Yeah.